Welcome to another episode of Big Local Live, Tarek's Community Podcast, episode number 14. I'm delighted to invite a couple of guests today. First, I would like to introduce Shiu-Ming, who's the founder of Speak as One, and Jack, who is the founder of Speak as One as well. And Matthew, who is the United Response manager.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Also, so how are you all? Let's start.
I'm good. Yeah. So I'll hand over to Shiu-Ming in a minute, but just to kind of explain my involvement with Speaks One. So Shiu-Ming started the group, and I kind of come along to mainly just to support him really in group meetings that we do online, make sure everybody has a say in our political discussions. But I think I'll hand you over straight to Shiu-Ming. Actually, you can kind of explain more about the group itself.
Thank you for that, Jack. The history of BF1 is and how it was created was on the news I was reading, like not a lot of things was done for people with additional needs, and lately I know about. I went on a course, and basically people with additional needs are sometimes being neglected by the public, workplace, and also some of their family. So I have been volunteering with loads of other organizations who work for people with additional needs, and then I kind of introduce politics into disability at one, because loads of people who work with who have additional needs doesn't know where to go to get help and what their rights are, and how basically they are not equal. They are not having the same rights as everyone else. So that's why I went to United Response and sat down and told them my idea, and that's how we got Speak F1 got created.
I just want to add to that as well, that Shiu-Ming's been hosting the Speak as One group for quite some time. And the initial kind of purpose behind Speak as One, as far as I see it, is kind of the dual purpose, really. One, it's about trying to give people with additional needs a space where they can discuss politics, but also to give them a direct link to both national and local politics. So, for example, we do meetings every 2 weeks, and every time we'll have an engagement worker or even a local councillor coming in. At the moment, it tends to be more focused on the borough of Richmond, That's kind of where the group was originally kind of formed. And we originally met in the United Response Teddington office until, of course, coronavirus came along, and we've been meeting online. So at the moment, in terms of like the local link, it's kind of more focused on Richmond Borough, I suppose. But that is beginning to change a little bit, I think, because now we've got this online space where people from across the country can come and like share their stories. And also Speakers One has been doing a lot of work on the national level as well. I'd like to talk about it, but I think I could maybe hand over to Shiu, who's got a lot of stuff to say about our sort of national work with the Cabinet Office.
Well, I have been, we went to the Cabinet Office to like tell them about Easy Week. We feel on how the general election last year went for people with disabilities, but again we got invited. We got invited to a lot more opportunities and to speak to the Cabinet Office. Like we talked about Easy Week manifestos, Easy Week ballot papers, and and I will pass to Matt to tell you a bit more about.
So hello Tarek, hello everybody. My name is Matthew Campbell. I work for United Response. I've worked as a support worker for about 4 years. I worked as a support worker, and then I got the opportunity to manage our enterprise. And our enterprise is our activities department in the Borough of Richmond. So we provide engaging activities for not only people with learning disabilities, but for people in the community as well. And Shiu-Ming approached me probably, I'd say maybe last September, last October. And asked if there was any way that we could support him with his group. So we have a big communal space that's basically our communal hub for Richmond, and we have spare rooms in there. So I offered Jay the opportunity to host his group within our hub, within our community space. And then since then we've been working together, the three of us, Shiu-Ming and Jack, on promoting the group and sort of spreading the word. And like Shiu-Ming was saying, one of the opportunities we got was to go to the Cabinet Office to discuss manifestos and the recent general elections. But no, it was a great day out, and I think we was listened to really well because we was invited back. The first time we went there was more of an advisory panel, and we met with the advisory panel and we spoke about some of our concerns, and Shiu-Ming raised really good points about people with learning disabilities and having access to the voting, really. And then a couple of weeks later, I think they were so impressed with what Shiu-Ming had to say, they invited us back again with a representative of United Response, where we spoke with more senior members within parties. And then hopefully we will see change come from them discussions that we had. What do you think, Shiu-Ming? Do you think we was listened to well in that situation?
I think we were listened to well, but when we were telling them how to write an easy manifesto. I think some of them just was like, you gonna tell me what to do?
Yeah. Well, that's politics for you, right?
Yeah.
I think one thing I'd quite like to add to that as well is I think there's strength in numbers, I think. And I think one of the good things about Speakers One is that it keeps on growing in size, really, particularly now that we are doing all these online meetings and people from other areas can access it. So I think as Speakers One kind of grows in size and grows in experience, I think maybe local and national policymakers will begin to listen to us more, I would say, as we kind of gain as we gain in power, for lack of a better word. I also wanted to sort of briefly mention the Parliament trip that we had a few months ago. So it was in September 2019, and some of the members of the Speakers One group actually went to the House of Parliament. So we looked at the House of Commons, and we looked at the House of Lords opposite it, and went around the whole building. And we were toured around by a tour guide who told us kind of how national policy making takes place. So it was just really interesting for the group members who are increasingly becoming involved in local politics and national politics to actually get that experience in the House of Parliament and to see how it happens on kind of ground level. So just kind of linking to that as well, we do quite a wide array of activities, visits like that when we're living in non-corona times and that's possible, but also obviously the online meetings, talking to local decision makers and national politicians. I'm just wondering if Matt or Shiu-Ming might want to talk a little bit about our visit from Munira Wilson, MP for Twickenham recently, that came along.
Just quickly on that, how do you feel this will make people, come to the group, like promoting it?
So what, Jack?
Tarek was saying, how can we promote the group, right, and motivate people to come? Is that right? Yeah.
I think personally, I think from the sort of since we've had since we've had Speakers One online, I believe it's a lot. Sorry, 2 secs. Yeah. I think since Speakers One has come online, it's given us a bigger platform to speak from people from all over the country, and I think having Marina Wilson on the Zoom call the other day, just an extra addition to that. So we, United Response, had a really strong relationship with the local Lib Dems because Vince Cable used to come and do a question and answer time with us, and then I think he passed the information over to the new MP, and I think she really saw the positives of the Speakers One group, so she joined us, and I thought the answers that she gave was really clear, really straight to the point. She's very, so she's involved in a lot of the charity work that's done within the borough. So I think that was a really good addition to have on the Zoom call, and I think having representatives of different parties is a good way to promote the group, because people want to hear different parties' politics and what they believe in.
I really like that. Jack, what were you saying before? You were saying something?
Well, yeah, I just wanted to point out, as Matt did, our meeting with Munira Wilson. On top of that, I want to point out the fact that often I think politics can seem like something that's quite distant, I think, a lot of the time. And one of the unique things about Speakers One is that we actually have local councillors and MPs kind of coming in, talking about their work, talking about what they're doing for charities and for people with additional needs. And it's very kind of one-to-one human level interaction. And I think that's a really good way for people to access politics, to make it more accessible rather than something that you just kind of hear and see on the news, online and so on.
Yeah.
Do you want to add anything?
And also, how we promote it, via our via our website and via Government Council. Because the Government Council does post our poster as our Speak F1 poster and website to get on Facebook page. So we got members from that area as well. And regarding the website, before we had MP from Bristol, councillor involved in Speak F1. So on that side, that side knows of people are getting to know what Speak F1 does, and they have an opportunity to go in if they want.
So, do you all encourage people to join your group?
Yeah, I think because it's because as what this group says in the title, like we want to voice every people with additional needs voices. We want to speak a voice to the cabinet office, like MPs and etc.
Yeah,
I just want to add to that as well. So we are open to additional needs. That's completely true. So it could be people who have physical additional need, or it could be something more mental, or a learning disability, or even a kind of mental health condition. I mean, as I was saying earlier, we have strength in numbers. So it's all about trying to include as many people with additional needs as we can. And it's open to people, well, nationally, really. So that anybody in the UK who has an additional need can join our meetings. The best way to do it is if you go onto our website, which I think we've sent the link over to Tarek, if you share it on the page. You go to our website, you'll find our email address, which is speakasone, one as in the number, speakers1@outlook.com. And you email, and then we can set you up with the Zoom link for our meetings, which take place every 2 weeks on Friday from 1 till 3 p.m. So our next meeting is actually tomorrow. And after that, the next one I think will be on the, just check, it will be the 24th of July. 2 weeks.
I think a good point to raise about Speakers One. I think it's a good thing to mention. But we were local when we were meeting in the office in the United Response Hub. Then we went national because we were meeting with councillors from areas such as Bristol and Newcastle, and then now we've gone international because we had somebody join us from Kyrgyzstan last week. So it's just showing the power of Zoom and the power of the group. I think people want to know what's going on, especially with the coronavirus. I think people find it hard to understand some of the stuff that the government are saying. So when they're with their peers and they're in a group of people they know, the conversation flows more freely, and the guidelines are explained a little bit better because the people on the group are very politically involved, and everybody's got a little bit of understanding of the issue. So when we come together as a group and discuss things, the kind of message goes a lot further.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just quickly, Matthew, anything you want to mention about United Response on how to get involved? You said you do activities, is that right?
Yeah. Thank you for bringing that up. Yeah. So United Response, as I said at the beginning, I manage the enterprise, which is our activities department. But as the coronavirus has had the country on lockdown, we've had to stop all of our activities. So to counter this, me and the United Response team from across the whole country have been working together to develop online activities. So if anybody would like to get involved in that, if you would like to just email me at matthew.campbell@unitedresponse.org.uk, I'll be able to send you information for some of our activities. So we provide around 20 hours of online activities ranging from sport, ranging from keep fit to dance to arts and crafts and the Speakers One group mentioned. So if anyone would like to get involved, drop me an email and we can plan on how we can get you involved in them.
We'll play a little game now just for some fun.
Okay. I'm a bit nervous now.
Let's do a quick fire round. Say the first thing that comes. First, or football or rugby?
Football.
Rugby.
Pasta or noodles?
Noodles.
Pizza or burgers?
Burgers.
Veggie burger, though. I'm vegetarian.
Now, which one is your favorite superhero? Batman or Superman?
Batman. No. Batman.
Brazil or, and I can't say the other country though. I'm going to skip that one. I can't say the other.
I'll say Brazil anyway. Rio de Janeiro.
Zoom or Skype?
Zoom.
Zoom.
Yeah, Zoom, yeah. It used to be Skype, but Zoom now.
Here's a hard one. Netflix or Amazon?
Sorry, what one was that?
Netflix or Amazon?
Netflix.
Netflix for TV, Amazon for ordering.
I think for me, it's Netflix. It's,
No, that's not
when
fair.
you
You have
can
to
use
pick
your
one.
phone.
London or Paris?
London!
Elephants or lions?
Elephant.
Lions.
Really? Lions? Okay. Tennis or Formula One?
Neither.
I say tennis. Shiu-Ming?
Eager.
Yes.
Spring or summer?
Summer.
Beach or park?
Mark.
Park.
Running or walking?
Walking.
Running.
Pop or rock?
What was the last one?
Rock. Sorry. Pop or rock? You know, pop as in.
Pop music.
Pop.
Yeah. So thanks for that. That was the little game I had. Good one, wasn't it? Anything you guys want to mention about any of the groups or any, final words or anything you encourage people, say if they want to set up a community, like yours, a group, maybe a community as well. What would you encourage them if they wanted to do that?
Well, I will encourage them to if you're passionate about something, no matter how many turns down you get, keep your head up and keep crying because at the end of the day you will get there.
I just want to add to that as well, but definitely go for your own group, go and set it up, but also don't underestimate the abilities that local charities like United Response can have. I mean, the support that Matthew and United Response have given Speakers One have really been irreplaceable. Promoting the group and giving us support and so on, and helping us advertise as well. So whilst this is something very much led by Shiu-Ming and myself, the support that United Response has given has kind of made it possible. So if you know of like local charities in your area or even national charities and you want to set up a group, by all means do it yourself, but also bear in mind that a lot of charities can give you some really good resources. Another thing I want to say as well is we mentioned earlier about how you can join up with Speakers One by emailing us at speakersone@outlook.com. But equally, if you just want to ask some questions about Speakers One, or if you're not 100% sure if you want to join or not, you can also just ask us some questions and find out more if you'd like.
And Matthew, is there anything you want to mention at all?
Yeah, I just want to kind of mirror what Jack and Shiu-Ming said. Yeah, if you've got a passion for something, I'd say research it, create a structure, and then speak to one of your support networks about how you can develop that further. We're always looking for new members to any of our activities and people who are passionate enough to deliver activities. Our goal is to have all of our activities owned by the people that we support, and very much how Shiu-Ming runs his group. That's how we want to focus our support, is giving people the opportunity to use their passions to teach their peers. So if anybody's got any ideas, run with it.
Yeah, so thank you all for coming today.
Thank you for having us.
Just any last words before we finish?
I'd say just try and stay positive. I think I know these tough times we're living through, but it's important to take care of yourself and your mental health. So just stay positive.
Just one thing I want to mention as well, just before we finish. Please support this group. They're a new group, and yeah, just support them. This is Tarek's Community Podcast, Big Local Life. I'm your host, Tarek Mrad, and goodbye.